What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be installing the 8-switch Auxbeam control unit in my Jeep, so let's get started. This unit is going to make your life so much easier when you're wiring up new lights into your vehicle or any kind of accessory. Now, it's going to alleviate the need to buy these huge, bulky wiring harnesses every time you want to add something to your system. So it has 8 switches. This unit is super nice. It's so thin. You got 2 5 amps, 2 10 amps, 2 20, and 2 30 amps. So it has fuses, fuse box lid with spare fuses, and you can hook it through this master switch right here. I do have this set up on the bench, ready to go, testing it. So all I have to do is hook this up to the battery here and it will work. So I have these super sweet round yellow Auxbeam lights hooked up to it. As you can see, just directly into the unit itself. This thing comes blank and you can install any number of things on here that you can put on there, which there's a really good variety of little stickers that you can put on here, which is really nice. So let me walk you through this real quick. We got our power, go into the module, ground to the module. This right here is going to the actual switch panel. And what's really nice is this wire is really long. I don't know exactly how long it is, but it is super long. It can go really far, which is going to be huge when you're mounting this, because if you want to put it somewhere crazy up on your roll cage or something, there's plenty of wires. And this one is going to be your accessory power, which will actually let the power come on in the unit itself. It will not run without this wire right here connected to power. And also it has a dimmer, this guy right here, because when you turn it on, if it's not plugged in or if it doesn't have power to it, it's just going to be on full blast. So let's hook up our power here. And it's not on full blast. It's actually staying, because I kind of messed with it earlier, staying where I left it. So you can see I can touch it. That's lowest, highest. I kind of like it right there. I don't like it super bright. See, this is number 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we got lights. These things are really cool. I like these yellow lights a lot. So that's how it works, basically on the bench. And it's going to come with all your brackets you're going to need. This one is for mounting the actual unit itself. I already have the one I decided to use for this unit, because I'm going to mount it on my crossbar on my dash bar on my roll cage. And there's a couple other brackets here for different types of mounting and a bunch of zip ties and random hardware and self-tappers and whatnot to help install it. Now I have a ton of lights that I have not installed, rock lights, light bars. I got other lights down here that I haven't installed. Once you get this installed, it's going to be super simple to install any additional lights or equipment. Before I install this on the Jeep, I need to check one thing, because I have a cooling fan that's on a toggle switch, because I want to be able to turn it off if I go through deep water or anything like that. I've had experiences where the cooling fan hits the water, breaks the blades, goes through the radiator. So I want to have the option of my electric plastic cooling fan to shut it off when I go through water, just in case, so I don't run into that problem again. So I need to see if, when you turn this on, when you remove accessory power, does it come back on when you put accessory power back to it, turn the key on? So I have power. This is simulating turning the key on. So keys on, power lights up, and we will, let's see, there's a light. Light's on, and you leave it on, and I turn the key off, it shuts off, and then I turn the key back on, and lights back up, light stays off. So I will not be running my cooling fan through this switch, because I will forget to turn it on every time I shut the vehicle off, and it will overheat. So after screwing around with it for a little while, I've determined that up on the side of the body here is where I'm going to mount this control module. I'm going to be able to get to it and install stuff and get to the battery through the firewall right here. Super easy. So I need to figure out how to get the wiring through the firewall. So I'm going to be using a 7/8 hole saw going through the firewall. That way I can fit both of my wires through it. Should be able to see light coming through right there. That's the hole I just drilled. It's a straight shot to the battery. So I found this little spacer and it fits perfectly inside the hole I just drilled. So there's the hole through the firewall. After I glued it on with the epoxy, I put on, once it dried, I put some silicone around it as well, just to make sure the hole was sealed. So I now need to figure out where I'm going to mount this thing on my Jeep. So for me, I'm going to mount it basically right there. Now, in order to start working on the wiring, you need to take your center console out, which there's 2 screws up here, and then there's 1 screw down right here in where the cigarette lighter is. I'm also going to need to take this 3-switch panel apart because this one is my fan, which is going to stay. These other 2 are going to be switching over to my panel down there. How I routed my wire is I basically cut a couple of these little square vents here up in the top, and I was able to push this through. Now I need to do my accessory power and my dimmer. So I'm gonna just tap into my radio accessory power using one of these little inline tap things, because I had it laying around and they're super easy. Just put this over it and put the new wire inside, clamp it down, and you're good to go. Using your test light with a good ground, yellow is power all the time, and red looks like accessory power. So the red one will be what I need to tap into. So this red wire is not quite long enough to make it through the dash and get to here comfortably, so I'm going to add in a little bit, splice in some wire to make it easier to get to it. So it's now been a couple of days since I worked on this, because I talked to Auxbeam trying to figure out a couple clarification things. So the wire to change the brightness of our screen here, basically I've confirmed that there's no way to turn the light totally off, and there's no way to control it. I spent a bunch of time trying to wire it to my light switch, wiring it to a switch panel down here, wiring it back to itself so I could hit a button here. I could actually hit the switch itself and it would turn the brightness up and down. None of it worked. So basically what you have to do is set it to the brightness that you want, which I'm going to set it to the absolute lowest setting, because in the dark, the lowest setting, I'll still be able to see it just fine. And I won't notice that it's on all the time. That is one thing that I'm not a super big fan of. I can't hook it to the dimmer switch on my lights and have it dim and go up with my dash lights. That's one bad thing that I don't really like about it. I have everything apart here, so I got to put everything back together. I got all my wiring routed through. So let's slam all this back together, clean everything up, clean the wiring up, put everything back in, hook everything up to the battery the way it's supposed to be. So here's the wiring on the battery. I know I need to redo this, get better terminals here so I can add more accessories. But this one is my CB radio. This one is my cooling fan. I have my winch, and I have the Auxbeam control box, all for the power. Ground is basically the same. CB radio, cooling fan, winch, and Auxbeam control panel. I'm going to show you inside the Jeep. So there is the control panel in the passenger side footwell of the Jeep. I can just pop the cover off, and we got all of our fuses and our two connectors here, and also our circuit breaker over here. I'm going to install some of these stickers here. I do know I have amber lights I'm going to be putting on. Rock lights. I know I'm going to be putting rock lights on. And then there is blanks here, so I don't know what I'm putting here yet, so I'll just put these blanks on here. So I'll key it up, and the lights are on, but it's on the lowest setting. Perfect, just the way I wanted it. Bumper lights are working. Air. So it's been a few weeks since I installed the switch panel. I've gone four-wheeling a couple times with it. And I really do like it. It is a great switch panel, high quality. It worked super good over the last two wheeling trips. I've had zero problems with it. It's kind of a little bit time consuming to get everything installed. But once you get it installed, the ease of installing everything else on top of it, when I install my rock lights or my light bar or those yellow round lights, it's going to take so much less time than installing full wiring harnesses with the relays and the switches and everything. It's going to make life so much easier from here on out. So if you guys are interested in this light switch setup, click the link in the description. Make sure you use the coupon code MuddyBeards on the Auxbeam.com website. It'll give you 12% off any item over $30. So if you like the videos that we're making here on Muddy Beards 4x4, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tell your friends, leave me some comments. If you want to follow me on social media, it's at Muddy Beards 4x4. Got a website, muddybeards4x4.com. Also has all the links in that as well. Check out our Amazon page. And until next time, we'll see you on the trail.